One of the most frequent questions I get asked when people contact me, especially around this time of year, is, hey Cody, I'm moving to the area. What do I need to know about the air quality? This is something that I get asked about almost every single time when somebody reaches out. And in this video, I'm going to give you everything you need to know about air quality here in Utah. We're going to be talking about the numbers. We're going to be talking about my opinion on this situation. I'm going to show you a couple photos. I'm going to just show you a bunch of information and you can kind of decide what to make of it on your own. Now, with that being said, we're going to jump in my screen here, but before we do that, if you're thinking about making that move here to Utah, or you already live in the area and you want to buy or sell real estate, I'd love to help you. I want to be your trusted real estate resource. That's why I've made over 200 videos here on this channel to try and provide that value to you so that in turn you come back to me and say, hey Cody, you're the guy I need to talk to when I need to buy or sell real estate here in Utah. So my information's here on the screen. Call, text, or email anytime. I love hearing from you guys and I cannot wait to hear from you individually who's watching this video right now. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. I first want to start off with this article right here that just came out, and it says, hey, this is a Thanksgiving forecast. I'm filming this a couple days before Thanksgiving. Light mountain snow is possible, but inversion is likely to linger here in Utah. So again, this information will still be relevant even if you're watching after Thanksgiving. The inversion conditions will likely continue through the week unless the storm system is strong enough to clear out some of the gunky air built up across the Wasatch Front. What happens is because we sit in kind of a bowl here in Salt Lake County, and even just the kind of along the Wasatch Front, because you have mountains on the east side, you have mountains on the west side, you do get kind of this high pressure that comes over the top, and it kind of traps all that air in underneath it, and it doesn't have anywhere to go, right? It can't blow through because it's trying to blow up, but that high pressure system is actually keeping it down. So that's what the actual inversion is. Basically everything that is a pollutant, mostly cars, mostly factories, trucks, anything like that, is going to release these gases, and they're unable to escape because of that high pressure system. So that's basically what inversion kind of is, in just a quick brief explanation. The important thing that you need to know is that it's not the greatest thing to have to deal with. So that's kind of what this is, but it basically is saying, the point that I wanted to make here is that if a storm comes through, it kind of swirls up all that air and then forces it all out as that storm moves past. So during those times where you're in between storms is generally when the inversion is the worst, and then that storm comes through, it blows everything out, and then you're good again for at least a couple days. And sometimes it does last a little bit longer. So that's what I want to point out there. The high pressure system mixed with colder air sparked the return of Utah's temperature inversions, resulting in worsening air quality, kind of like we just talked about. The Utah Division of Air Quality Forecast calls for moderate air quality conditions across the Wasatch Front on Monday. It's expected to remain that way through at least Wednesday, even reaching levels that are unhealthy for sensitive groups Tuesday and Wednesday in Salt Lake County. So we're going to take a look at what that actually means here in just a second. If we come down a little further, the ongoing high pressure pattern is expected to continue this week. However, a small storm is expected which is expected to reach northern Utah on Wednesday morning, could offer some relief. So if we come down here, I think that actually wraps up this. So I want to jump over here and take a look at the air quality index. This is straight from the government website. So you got to take it for what it is. Utah Department of Environmental Quality, air quality. And this kind of shows us what we're looking at for the different counties. So here in Salt Lake County, today's Monday, we're at a moderate level. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be at that unhealthy for sensitive groups level. And they also have a mandatory action here saying, hey, you can't use any solid fuel burning devices, such as like a fire pit or a wood burning stove, campfire, anything like that, because those are extremely pollutant to the air that we have here. And I just want to point this out here. The forecast indicates the highest pollution level of the day. During the summer, ozone pollution levels are generally low during the morning, evening, and night. During the winter, particulate matter pollution levels build up until a storm or weather system moves the air out of the valley. So in those summer months, the air quality is actually pretty good. Sometimes you'll get a tiny bit of inversion through the afternoon, but like it says here in the here it says on this paragraph, in the morning, the evening, and the night, the air quality is generally pretty good. So air quality for most of the year is pretty good, but in the winter we do get these inversions, and that's where it'll build up and put us into one of these zones, generally speaking. So we'll either be at that moderate level, which just says, yeah, not kind of great. It's not 100% clean air, but it's just moderate, right? And then you have unhealthy for sensitive groups. So if you actually, have some type of lung issue, if maybe you have asthma or something else that's bothering you, then this could be something where it, makes it a little bit harder to breathe and could potentially be unhealthy. That's actually something that my own brother had an issue with. He had some lung issues. And unfortunately had to move out of the area to St. George, Utah, in order to get into that better air quality, because he just wasn't able to breathe during those winter months. And so, if you do have lung issues, then this is something you're probably going to definitely want to look at. before making a move here. Hey, before we continue on, I want to tell you about our newsletter. This is something we've been doing for a while now, and I want you to be a part of it. You can find information to sign up for our newsletter down in the description box below. When you sign up, you're going to get a weekly email from us recapping the videos that we released this week, as well as some other news articles that were not quite worthy of an entire video to themselves. And we're also going to include other information about what's going on in Salt Lake, what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, and play here along the Wasatch Front. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure to go in the description box below, click that link, enter your email, and sign up. Like I said, we're not going to spam you. It's just one email a week to keep you updated on what's happening here in Utah. I'd love to see you be a part of it, and let's get back to the content. With that said, let's jump over here and take a look at this, how we rank on a national basis. So I just typed in US Air Quality Index Metro area, and let's just do a quick search by UT. So let's kind of give us a quick search on these different areas. So, the higher the rank on the list here, the worse the air quality is. So you look at this and you've got a bunch of cities here in California, Tennessee, one in here in Arizona. The first one that pops up here is Brigham City in Utah, kind of a smaller town up further north, about 15, 20 minutes past Ogden. Then you've also got Salt Lake, you've got Provo, you've got Vernal, and you've got Price over here. So the Salt Lake City, Provo-Orem area actually ranks 16th and 17th on this, air quality index for the entire nation. So we're definitely not, the worst, but we're fairly high up there. I don't know how much this goes up, but, we're sitting at here at a roughly, 57 air quality score on the index. And, there's a lot of cities here that are kind of sitting in that, let's say 45 to, 50 range. So we definitely are above average, for sure. There's over 1,000, almost 1,000 places, or 1,000, metros here on this list. And we're ranked number 16 or 17. So not great, guys. I'll just be totally honest. We don't have the best air quality here. It is something that they're working to improve. It's something that a lot of these government agencies are aware of. They're trying to shut down factories or convert these factories. They're really trying to push electric vehicles. They're really trying to push carpooling or remote work to just really cut down on these problems that we're having. It has gotten better in recent years, but there's still a long way to go in order to fix this. Now, unfortunately, I don't know that it'll ever be perfect just because of the nature of the area that we live. It's not something that I think you can totally get away with, especially since we have cars and whatnot. Unless everything goes electric one day, I just don't know that we'll be able to get away from this with the pollutants that get up in the air and are unable to escape. So hopefully we'll be able to see, our numbers drop off and, we start falling down this list, hopefully sooner than later. That'd be great. But at the moment, we are kind of up there. So I'll just, say that about it. I wanted to just check in and just look at what air quality was here today for Salt Lake City, as well as compared to some other areas. So you've got air quality here in Salt Lake. We're at 78 AQI. I guess that's air quality index. We've got 81, 83. So we've got a couple here in the downtown Salt Lake area, sitting in that moderate range between 50 and 100. If we jump over here, I just did one in New York. Just thought it'd be a good comparison since there's a lot of people there. New York actually ranks pretty low, pretty good air quality there, at least as of today. This was just a quick search I was doing right here, comparing to Phoenix, comparing to some of the areas around us. Phoenix was also ranked fairly high on this list over here. Let's just type it in. Phoenix is number 41. So we're still higher than Phoenix. And comparing to what we're seeing in Phoenix, that would stand true, right? These guys are still in that healthy range, which is under 50 on the air quality index score. Looking over here, Boise, Idaho. Boise seems to be pretty good, 28 to 32. Another one here, Denver. We're still a little bit higher. Denver's a little bit, worse on this scale. They're pushing that moderate level, especially with these two areas here. So, pushing that. And then one last one here in Bakersfield, California. This is, one of the ones that was at the top of the list on that air quality index ranking. And we're about level with those guys today here. So this one's sitting at 90 and we've got 86 over here in Bakersfield. So some interesting information there. Oh, one last one right here. Fresno was also pretty high up there on the list. So we're about the same levels as what you're seeing here. All that being said, guys, I think if you're sensitive to this type of thing, if you have lung issues, definitely this is something you really, really need to consider because it could be something that affects you. For me, having grown up here, I wish it were different, but it's not. And, it's just kind of become a way of life. It's just something you kind of deal with. You kind of stay indoors. You let your furnace filters, do its work. You get a, humidifier, you get a air filter in your home, an air purifier, and that will really help pull some of those particles out of the air and really just try to be, conscious of it. And I think it will be something that you can kind of learn to live with. Now, I don't want to just say, oh yeah, it's all fine and rosy. I don't think a cross that point here in this video, but it is something, that you just kind of get used to. And it is one of the trade-offs of living here in Salt Lake. No area is going to be perfect. And unfortunately, the air quality is one downside that we have here in Salt Lake City. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, share it with a friend or family member. Maybe you got a wife or, mom and dad or your kids or your brother who wants to learn about air quality here. Share this video with them and see what they say, about it. I'd love for, to get some opinions on that. And also, if you're thinking about making that move here, even despite this video, call, text, or email me anytime if you're looking to buy or sell real estate. I'd love to be the go-to guy for you when it comes to purchasing or selling something here in Utah. With that said, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.